Hello students, today we are going to start with poem The World is Too Much With Us by William Wordsworth. It is one of its most popular sonnets. Sonnets here means poem consisting of 14 lines. Here in this poem, he lays stress on going back to nature, and he also mentions the evils of materialism which has made man insensitive towards nature. First, we'll see the summary of the poem. I'll recite each and every line and I'll tell you the meaning of the poem. Let's start. The world is too much with us. Here, by the world here means the material world. And he's saying it is too much with us, means we are so engrossed in our material world that of like city, our jobs, our innumerable financial obligation towards our family. Like for example, a person has financial obligation towards his parents, his own family, like his wife, his children, then his siblings, brothers and sister. So we are so engrossed in earning money, we are so engrossed in our material nature, means this nature, this material world has controlled our life to an unhealthy degree. Late and soon, getting and spending, means here we are always rushing from one thing to the next. We are so busy in our life that we are just earning money each and every day so that we can spend it the next day. Every year, every day we are earning money so that we can live for our livelihood, and we can live a luxurious life, or we can just have the basic necessities of life. So here, late and soon, getting and spending. Getting and spending here means what? We are just trying to earn money so that we can spend it the next day. We lay waste our powers, little we see in nature that is our. Means here the writer wants to say the result of this is that we have destroyed the vital part of humanity. Means we as human beings, God has gifted us nature, but we are not at all enjoying the nature here. We have lost the ability to connect with the nature, and we have and find tranquility in nature, means find peace in nature. We are not at all enjoying the nature here, the writer wants to say. We have given our hearts away a sordid boon. Means here sordid here means something very dirty or unpleasant. And boon means what? First it was given as a gift, but we have now turned it into a curse. Means here what the writer wants to say, first the God has given nature as a gift to us. Nature is a gift from God to human beings, but we have, because of materialism, because of industrialization, lot of pollution is there, we are deforestation is going on. So what we are doing, we are just turning this gift into a curse for us, and because of that, what is happening now? Because of pollution and all, people are getting prone to many diseases, they are dying. So in exchange of this material gain, means because of industrialization, for developing big buildings and all, we are just we are doing deforestation and all. So we have given away our emotion and liveliness. We don't at all feel anything for the nature now. We are not enjoying the nature at all, the writer wants to say. The sea that bears her bosom to the moon, the winds that will be howling at all hours, and are upgathered now like sleeping flowers. Means the writer here is saying the beauty of nature is mentioned here. That this ocean that reflects the moonlight at night time, when you see, when the moon is up in the sky, the light of the moon is reflected on the ocean, on its surface, and the area is very peaceful, the surrounding is very peaceful, it is very pleasant. Momentarily windless night, means here there is no wind blowing at all. The wind because there is no wind at all, you cannot see the waves on the surface of the ocean here. Everything is very calm and peaceful, which is like flowers whose petals are folded up in the cold. Here the poet has made comparison between the windless night and flowers whose petals are folded up in the cold. How in the cold season, winter season, we can find the flowers, the petals of the flowers are folded. It is very beautiful. But all this natural thing, we are not at all enjoying. The writer wants to say that all these things are still existing in the nature, but we are not appreciating, we are not enjoying to them at all. We don't have eyes, or we don't have time to look at nature with those eyes. We don't have time at all. We have become so busy that we are not enjoying the nature at all. For this, for everything, we are out of tune. Here he wants to say our lives have nothing to do with the rhythms of the natural world. As I told you now, we are not at all enjoying this nature. Still all these things still exist in the nature, but no one has time to enjoy this beauty of the nature. It moves us not, means we don't have those emotion, we don't have those feelings and emotion are not left in our life, that we can enjoy the nature. It does not influence us at all. The nature, the beauty of the nature does not influence us at all. Great God, I would rather be a pagan, suckled in creed outworn. Here the writer wants to say, he's praying to God that, my God, I wish that I were raised in a culture that worshipped many gods, though that religion is now outdated. Means in ancient time, during the time of Greeks, at that time people believed in nature as God. They worshipped nature as God. So here the writer is praying to God that he should have been born in the ancient time, in the Greek time, so that he can worship the nature and feel the beauty of nature. Great God, I would rather be a pagan, suckled in creed outworn. Pagan here means it deals with paganism, means here a religion during the Greek time where people worship nature as God. So he prayed to God that he should have been born in ancient Greek time so that he could worship the nature. So might I, standing on the pleasant lea, having glimpses that would make me less forlorn. Means if he would have born at the time of ancient Greece and he would have believed in nature as God, that time what he would have done? He would have been standing on this pleasant patch of grass, and he might be calmed and hearted by the image of the ocean before him. Means he would feel the nature. While praying to nature, he would feel the nature and he would not feel forlorn. Forlorn here means not to feel lonely and unhappy. As he would find peace in nature, then he would live a very satisfied and you can say happy life. Have sight of Proteus rising from the sea. Means if he would have born at that time he would be able to see Proteus. Proteus is a Greek sea god. It is sea god who has power to take any shape. So if he would have prayed nature as God, then he could have seen Greek god Proteus taking shape before him through his very eyes. On here old Triton blow his weathered horn. Or he could see another sea god, another sea Greek god, that is Triton, who has the you can say power to blow the conch. With the help of with blowing the conch, this Greek god has the power to soothe the you can say waters of the ocean here. So he is saying if he would have been born at that time, at least he would have feel the beauty of nature. He would have seen the power of Proteus, power of Triton. He could have felt the you can say beauty of nature, beauty of ocean before him and all. So here he wants to lay stress that now the people have become very practical and they have become very busy in their life, and because of that what he wants to say, they are not at all enjoying the nature. Now, from this children we can conclude that in the poem, The World is Too Much with Us, the speaker describes humankind's relationship with the natural world in terms of loss. Why in terms of loss? Because here the poet wants to tell us that we are not at all enjoying the nature, and we are what we are doing, we are destroying the nature. So it is loss for us only. That relationship once flourished, but now due to impact of industrialization on everyday life, humankind has lost the ability to appreciate, celebrate and be soothed by nature. Means we ourselves, we are trying to get away from the nature by because of the industrialization, deforestation, or you can say building up new big huge buildings and all. Because of that what happened, we are not appreciating, celebrating the nature. On the other hand, we are losing the nature. To emphasize this central loss, the poem describes it from three angles: economic, spiritual and cultural angle. Economic here means what he wants to tell, that we have become very busy with our life because of industrialization and all. We are doing deforestation and all, we are losing the nature. Spiritual means what? People have become very practical now. They don't believe in God now. They don't have time to pray to God now. So that's why the poet was saying that he prayed God that he wished that he would have been born during the ancient Greek times. And culture here means what? First in ancient time, in people what they used to do, they used to worship nature as God. But now people has no time to look at the nature also here. So from all these three point of view, he has tried to explain us. See, notably the poem does not suggest a way to regain what is lost. Means in this poem he is not trying to tell us how can we regain the nature here. Rather, its tone is desperate, arguing that humankind's original relationship with nature can never be revived. Means we cannot recorrect ourselves now. We are day by day after day we are losing our nature. The poem first present lost in the economic sense, implicitly blaming urban life for the change in people's relationship with nature, because the urban world has too much control over our lives. Means we are our life, we are busy with our family, with our friends and all. We have no time to go to the you can say beautiful places, visit the beautiful sites and see the nature. We are always late and soon and getting and spending. Means we are always busy in earning money and spending it. Modern humans are always losing time. They don't have time or money. We as working people in an increasingly urban area, their lives are structured by never ending series of appointments and transactions. They don't have time for anything. Mainly they don't have time for nature, enjoying the nature which is a gift of God to them. The lifestyle comes at a price. It destroys our power to identify with nature. Means why human beings are earning so much? Because they want to live a good lifestyle. They want to live a luxurious life. But what is happening here? We are doing this at a price. Means we are doing it by at a price of not identifying the nature. We are when we at one hand we are trying to you can say earn money, live a luxurious life and all, work very hard for that. But the gift which is given by God to us, which can give us peacefulness, satisfaction and all, that only we are not paying attention to. We are not appreciating. By focusing their powers on material objects, people grow unaware of their wider and arguably more important surrounding. Means as we are busy in earning and spending, we are not paying attention towards the nature which is gift of God to us. The result is that nothing in nature or elsewhere is ours. This is a world where everything, be it as a house, stock is in company, or a loaf of bread, can be won or lost in an instant. Instant means we can lose everything. Nothing is permanent. By describing nature as something that can be owned or possessed, the speaker may be implying that the modern human beings have lost the ability to think of relationship, emotion, and in anything but economic terms. Means we are just trying to gain everything economically. We are not looking at the, you can say, other side of life, that is the peace and tranquility. Next, the poem dwells on spiritual loss, though without forgetting that losses of economic rules. We have given our hearts away, the speaker says. Though it uses economic language, people give something away in exchange for something else. Means here in exchange to gain material life, we have given a speech. We have given away a spiritual life. We don't have time to meditate. We don't have time to feel the nature and all. This line adds another perspective to depiction of loss. The price of material gain and industrial progress is human heart itself. Means we are just paying attention to this line, a symbol of life and emotion. In exchange, people receive a boon, that is, they gain something. Yet what they gain is sordid. Means why we are working hard to gain luxuries of life, but that luxury of life is sordid. It is very dirty and unpleasant. That is not true, you can say here. It is dirty and immoral. In exchange of industrial progress, people have reduced themselves to an utmost less than human state. We are doing anything to get material things in our life. We can go to any extent. The speaker suggests that this loss of humanity outweighs the material gain. As a result, we are out of tune and nature moves us not. Means we don't feel nature at all. People have fallen from our ideal natural state into one of disrepair. Means we cannot repair our relationship with nature anymore. Having given away their ability to access deep, enduring emotion, they are numb to the beauty. We cannot feel the nature at all of the natural world, spirituality, unmoved by it. Now, in its final lines, the poem describes the cultural loss and its tone of resignation suggests the loss is permanent. Means this cultural loss, means he is trying to say the loss which we have got here is permanent. The speaker invokes Greek paganism, introducing a version of society in which nature played a larger role in human life. As I told you at the time of explanation, paganism means what here? People believed in nature as God and they prayed nature as God. But the pagan tradition is creed outworn, means now no one believes in nature as God. It is a relic and no longer useful. Once the speaker acknowledged the uselessness of past tradition, and his or her wishes come across as more fanciful than serious. Means he wishes that he would have born at that time. I would rather be a pagan, so might I, do not represent what the speaker believes is possible, but rather what he or she wishes was still possible. Means he wanted to be born at that time. As a member of modern society, the speaker cannot access nature in a way to him or herself. Means as now he is a member of modern society, so he cannot worship nature or he cannot feel nature like how he wanted, how the people at during the time of Greek used to feel the nature and pray the nature. So because of that, what happened? He's saying that if he would have been able to feel the nature, pray the nature, how the ancient people used to do, he would have feel less forlorn. Less forlorn means what? Less happy or less lonely. This doesn't mean that nature has been destroyed. The pleasantly still exist. Means he's saying though people are so busy with their material gain, though they are busy with their life, they don't have any feeling towards nature anymore. Still he is saying the beauty of nature in this world still exists. You can still see the moonlight on the ocean in the windless night. It looks so beautiful. The petals folded in the winter season, they look so beautiful. All these things are still existing in the nature, but we human beings are not having time to look at it. It just doesn't soothe the speaker at this moment of emotional despair. The best he or she can do is imagine a past that in its fullest form is lost and inaccessible. Means he is saying that the people have become so emotionless, they don't have feeling towards the nature anymore. So still, though these beautiful things are present in the nature, they cannot enjoy it, they cannot feel it here. So he's just saying he can just imagine a past, how the people used to feel the nature and how they used to pray the nature. I hope you have understood the poem. Thank you.